with IPTV today, you can use it in lots of different ways. You can create a standard channel, one of your network channels, cable channels, etc. And you can create an L bar. You can have a takeover screen. You can run commercials throughout the day. If you go to a sports bar, you can look at the bottom, or if you watch a sports channel, you're looking at the bottom and they're scrolling it. Today, that technology has changed. It's become more affordable. There's the speed of the internet in which IPTV makes it possible for us to have to make it work in our studios. The internet, the speeds, all those things make TV work, right? Hello and welcome again to Unlocking the Power of IPTV, unleashing the opportunities within your business and creating user engagement, creating opportunities, and also discussing some of the pain points. So just sit back, relax. My name is Coleman Smith. I've been a founder of multiple companies. I've been an advisor, business advisor, and I want to talk about technologies. And today, the IPTV technology is really important. It comes across as a very standard tool that you see a lot of businesses using, but many things have changed over the last several years. And so we want to talk about IPTV. I feel like it's a very important topic that it's overlooked because we get caught up with the new shiny pennies, with new technologies and the different things that's all around us. But we really need to stay focused on what's working, what's traditional, what we understand, right? So today we're going to talk about three big topics. One is the power of personalization. Power of personalization, we'll get deeper into it, and we've got stories that we can share with you on that. Number two is the future of advertising. What's the potential? What's the opportunities? What's the power that's actually right in front of us, given the fact that we've had several problems in the world, if you will, with COVID, which created a whole new opportunity for us to talk about how we can use user engagement tools like IPTV. In one of my previous podcasts, we spoke about Wi-Fi. So using these two types of technologies together can actually drive your customers. So the future of advertising, we're going to go into greater detail. Now, data-driven analytics. Most people in the past haven't used data-driven analytics. So number three is very, very important because now there's ways that you're going to be able to monetize it. The expense that you have in purchasing a TV and posting information with regards to whether you're running your own information on your IPTV in your business or your restaurant or your retail, whatever that may be. Data-driven customer engagement is really important for the business owner. You have access to that now, and most people are really forgetting about it. So let's talk about the first big topic. The big key point that I really want to bring up is the power of personalization. And I'm going to kind of refer to some of the things that in my business and how we use it and how that works. And we'll talk about that later in one of the stories, how we've created a lab to actually showcase how businesses can use IPTV, digital signage, and those types of things. But more importantly is having fun with technology and taking the workload off of us of how we're going to communicate to customers. Really, that's the whole goal of putting these tools in place, right? Helping us communicate with customers, whether they walk into our office, whether they are walking by our window or displays, wherever it may be. TVs are on our phones. People are used to looking on TVs. So think about the personalization piece and the topic number one being the power of personalization. Most people are not using that effectively, meaning that they put an IPTV system in place, maybe they're running a channel, or maybe they have a digital sign and they don't ever change it again. So every time that customer comes in, you're missing the opportunity to engage with that customer. Maybe it's a product, maybe it's a service, maybe it's a thank you, maybe it's a holiday, but use that visual presentation as an opportunity to guide the customer in a direction that you would like for him to go. If nothing else, use that technology to welcome them to your business and change up those messages. With IPTV today, you can use it in lots of different ways. You can create a standard channel, one of your network channels, cable channels, etc. And you can create an L bar. You can have a takeover screen. You can run commercials throughout the day. If you go to a sports bar, you can look at the bottom, or if you watch a sports channel, you're looking at the bottom and they're scrolling it. Today, that technology has changed. It's become more affordable. There's the speed of the internet in which IPTV makes it possible for us to have to make it work in our studios. The internet, the speeds, all those things make TV work, right? So prior to using technologies in our business, when it comes down to IPTV systems, it's not just a TV. It's an actual digital sign that can be an overlay over the current TV that's in your office. So just imagine for a moment what you could possibly say to a customer that's going to allow them to get information when they come into your lobby, or they're sitting there having, French fries, hamburger, steak, whatever it may be. They may see a dessert. Now they are being kind of pointed in a direction that you would like for them to see. It's kind of a mental message. Number two is you stay engaged with that customer, and it doesn't have to be promoting a product or a service. So each business has its own message, own way they can personalize it. And so that is a fantastic way of communicating with your customers. You can put it in the doorway as they walk into the door. Maybe you want to use it for your staff, and you have a special message as a business owner that you want everyone to see. Maybe it's just happy birthday to one of your staff. Creates good rapport, creates more culture opportunities to let people know that these are the types of things that you're thinking about with your staff, your employees. So don't just think about the dollars and the data that you're spending on, having an IPTV to personalize your product or service. Use it for all types of opportunities for your business. How does that sound? I'm sure you've got some great ideas, and I've got some stories that I'm going to share shortly. So just hang tight, and we're going to talk about how stadiums use it. And, we'll talk more in detail about how some businesses may use those things. But use IPTV technology to personalize messages for internal, external businesses, employees, products, and services. So many different ways. I will tell you there's a few challenges when it comes to IPTV for business owners. And you're probably going, it's a great idea. Love the idea of having TVs running at my location. And you're probably saying, who is going to do all this creative content development, right? And that is one of the biggest challenges, is content management. Putting together the LBARs, putting together your messages, putting together, what you're going to say. I mean, we all have that problem with our social media and our messaging that we're putting out, but this platform is a standard tool that allows you to work on the custom content, get your marketing team to work on it, and make sure that you give them the back office to manage. The technology's come a long way over the last several years. TVs now are becoming what they call smart TVs, which they are. I mean, you can download an app and you can watch a movie and you can watch a series just on your telephone. So if you're using, creating content, that's going to be one of your biggest challenges. Some of the other challenges that you may run into is time, right? We all have different schedules and we're busy and we forget about it. But you can, again, turn this over to a marketing company and let them create and manage your content. This way you can come up with a month's calendars worth of things, have them to think about how they can use it to communicate with your customers to personalize it. So let's talk about the future of advertising. Using the advertising as a targeted method using IPTV. And I'm going to bring up Wi-Fi with this IPTV. So if you're running a Wi-Fi system, and it's like I said, I'd mentioned that in previous conversations, but the future of advertising is going to continue to change. And I was thinking today about the generations. And it doesn't matter what business that you're in or how long you've been in business. And you've got business owners that are in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, and beyond, right? Every one of those generations have different perspective on how technology is used. The younger generation, I mean, you go in the office and you have a conversation with one of your younger generations and they're typing everything on their phone. They don't even look up. I'm waiting for them to fall into a manhole, run into a lamppost, something, but they're on their phones, and that's how you communicate with them. Now, if you're 60, 70, 50, 40, 30, whatever those are, we've got different technologies that we're comfortable with and what we've learned. TV's been around a long time, so taking and converting TV to a internet-based TV with the speeds now today that come into our business, that come into our homes, now you can start running videos of your own business, right? You can start creating animated stories. You can use the whole TV to show a game, show your product, do a voiceover, do a PowerPoint presentation, have them to sit in and watch a e-learning training course right there in your lobby or teach your staff. So the future of IPTV is going to continue to change. The back office tools, just like Microsoft or just like any other tool that you use in your office, you've got a customer-facing side, which in this case, the IPTV is talking about or sharing. They just look at the TV screen and they're seeing whatever information that you put on it. But with the advancement of how technology can be used with regards to the advertising, man, your limitation is only your imagination. So how do you want to use it? The tools can be accessed through the internet. You can be on vacation. You can actually go in and program the back office to show any message that you want in your office. You don't even have to be there. So that's not the future. But the future of advertising is really on how do you want to use this platform as a tool to communicate with your customer. It's exciting to me. And to me, yeah, we have all these other crazy tools and technologies. You got GPT that just came out. You've got social media. You've got Twitter. You've got TikTok. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of things that we feel like that we need to be on, right? So we get up in the morning and we go, look, we got to go attract customers. What are we going to do? I need to do an email campaign. Oh my gosh, I need to do social media posts. I need to go do an ad campaign, run ads on Facebook, run ads on Google. I need to do a radio spot. I need to do a television spot. I need to contact my marketing. That is just crazy, right? So you don't have to use all those tools in order to engage your customers. What I've found over the last 30 years is taking our standard platforms that we've used, because with the internet and the speeds, we can use some of the standard things to communicate with, our audiences or with our staff. And one being simply our Wi-Fi. They log in, they see a message, right? That speed made the difference in our Wi-Fi. So now you can think of the same thing, which now you got fiber connections that's running into your office, which makes it faster, which makes it more possible for your videos to stream really clear. So most of us just think that just should be obvious, right? So not picking on any one particular generation or the other. Some people just have different preferences on how they want to use the technology. Trying to stay up and stay engaged with the latest technologies. Don't try to do that. Find the ones that are the least affordable, not least affordable, but most affordable that you can use right now, and start getting, saving money by messaging the people that you currently are doing business with, right? use the technology to communicate. People want to read, they want to watch, they want to listen, they want to see things. And number two, use it as an engaging learning tool for your customers when they walk in while they're waiting on whoever it is for a meeting or an appointment. Maybe it's telling your brand story right there on your TV while they're sitting in their lobby. Don't miss that opportunity to continue building your brand. So the future of IPTV is only going to get better. So that to me, targeting advertising with IPTV, and like I'd mentioned to you before, stadiums are using it. That's what we do for stadiums. We go into stadiums and really put their IPTV and work on their content management. And again, I want to tell you a bit story on some of the big stadiums that we've worked on and how they're using it to drive money, right? So when it comes to what am I going to spend, right? And the future advertising comes with the cost. And we're all going, oh my gosh, it's going to cost a lot of money for a business. I'm trying to save you money. I'm trying to find ways, for dollars and data. This episode really want to talk about how we can look at what are the things that are the least expensive that you can use today to start building brand engagement. Start telling your story, start building your brand, whether it be in an office or on a food truck or in down the road, what are they? Outdoor, indoor malls, they're running ads. Now it's possible for all small businesses to use IPG technology. So I'm going to say the future of advertising with digital screens and digital signage, you can make it more interactive. The small business owner can do it, not just the big box stores, not just the big stadiums, but it's now affordable for every single small business. So the future of advertising for me, I'm super excited, and I hope you are too, because you should be using it, and it's easy to install and it's easy to manage, and that's the key. It's not complicated. So take advantage and build and think about how you create the future of advertising or messaging or communication within your own business. I think that's a very, very valid point to be considering. Number three, most of the times I'm going to talk about data-driven customer engagement, all right? So how do you know that it's effective? Most of the people, most of the time, most of the companies or most of the TV networks, they had the Nielsen ratings. And I don't even know if most people know what the Nielsen ratings are. And those particular ratings were data metrics. So they would go to sponsors and advertisers, and they would talk to a sponsor and say, look, we got 20 million viewers watching our sitcom on Monday night. So they go to a sponsor and they sell it. In the IPTV solution now with QR codes coming back to life, whoever thought QR codes were going to come back to life? COVID made that possible. Everyone uses a QR code. I mean, you can't go anywhere without pulling out your phone and having to scan a QR code to get a menu, to get, to find out what the next games are. I mean, even at stadiums now, on the big jumbotrons, you got a QR code. I think on the last, on one of the Super Bowls, they had a QR code. Are you trying to run around and get the QR code on your TV? I saw it and I'm like, what are they doing? But they're running QR codes on their IPTVs. Why are they doing that? It's data. They're collecting data about their customers. They're collecting data about how many times things are seen. So you can do that on IPTV. So let's say that you want to know how many times you had a message, a branding message, some type of let's just say you had a sponsor in your business, whether it be retail or you had a partner, you wanted to run a message. You could tell your partner, hey, we ran this 27 times, or we ran it 100 times, or you're running an ad for a customer. Yes, this can be done at your local business today. That to me gets me excited. I don't have to have my receptionist to remember the message about the brand. Maybe she's new, maybe she's been there, maybe she's out to lunch, but that IPTV system can work for you. Me as the customer, I want to feel welcome. I want to feel the warm, I want to feel the energy of your business when I walk in. And if I'm the first time I'm there and it's a big meeting that I'm having and I see my name up there and it says, hey, welcome. Cole, we're happy that you're here. We look forward to continuing and talking about things, right? So it's just a quick message that makes me feel good. But the data behind it, the software applications, and I say the software, and I know a lot of business owners out there are like, oh my God, more software. It's just an application that you log in now on your internet and you can go in and see the dashboard. The dashboard gives you the capability to go in and type in your message, load a graphic. Maybe it's your marketing company. They load the graphics. So I need to see all the data. Whether you're a small company, maybe you're a restaurant, maybe you're a bar or a restaurant or a bar, and you've got one of your brands that wants to know, well, how many times did it run? And you're running 10 different ads. So use the tools in your business so that you can share with your sponsors. That's how you can actually monetize it. How many people are coming into your physical location? Use other data tracking things that allow you to understand your customers, how many people are coming in. Now, I know that's going to be different based on who the business owner is. But regardless, you're going to save a lot of money and you're going to build your brand and you're going to share information with your particular customer. Doesn't matter what business you're in, you can find a value for it. But all of the IPTV systems moving forward is built because they're looking at the future of advertising, right? So the data metrics and the data analytics, whether it's just managing the content, the rotations, how many times you turned it, how long it's going to be playing, that's all built into the back end. It's the coolest stuff, man. I'm telling you. I love IPTV. IPTV now, you can actually run your QR codes in an L bar if you want to. You can promote your product. You can have a link to your website. So, guys, data-driven customer engagement is easier to track today. It's very important to remember that you don't just have a TV in your office. Use it. Look for software applications that have IPTV that you can plug into your smart TVs in your office. If you have challenges or problems, you better give me a call. I can point you in the right direction. So I kind of want to jump into a couple of stories real quick. So how are IPTV systems being used in stadiums? We go in and we do a full assessment of a large pro, it could be an MLB stadium, could be an NFL stadium. They have 3,000 TVs. And you got to go, man, how is it possible to manage 3,000 TVs and be able to send messages out to 60,000 fans in a stadium, right? We're doing that today. We're actually consulting and providing advisory services to stadiums, not only to help them put in their IPTV systems, but it has the software capability for the sponsor advertising to be able to integrate sponsors. So during a timeout or during a television break, those L bars or takeover screens inside a stadium, guess what? They're making money with those advertising because they know that they've got a large customer base of 60,000 people that's actually using and seeing those stadiums. They're not just there for them to watch the game when they're getting a hot dog and a beer, right? So those stadiums all over the TVs, all over the stadiums, you know, it sounds like a big project. And to a certain degree it is, but it's just knowing where to put the TVs. So we work with the stadiums and we implement it. And it's exciting to see how that technology has changed with IPTV, given the ability to create fan engagement so that we can point people and share exciting things when you go to the game. Trust me, in future episodes, we're going to share more opportunities about how technology is changing in the stadiums. They want you back in and they want you to have fun. And they're using TV right now and they're using Wi-Fi to start that process and guide you through the stadium. So it's very exciting. Now, one of the problems that the stadium has managing 3,000 is in the past, they didn't have the capabilities to really do this remotely. So imagine now with the speeds in the stadium and having 3,000 TVs, how much time is it going to take us to broadcast across 3,000 TVs? It's easy. IPTV has advanced, it's changed. So now we can run it remotely. We do this here in our office. We can run it remotely across 3,000 stadiums, make those changes instantaneously. Now, there's still some gaps between, what's happening at the stadium and what's happening now. But if it's just regular types of content that we want to post, we can post that remotely. If there's a slight delay remotely, that's one of the problems. So if we were here in California and they were on in Florida, for example, there may be a latency issue. And a latency issue basically is the time between when you submit a graphic to the time it actually shows up on the screen. But trust me on this, being in the telecom space for almost 30 years, speeds are going to get faster. Within the next 5 years, we're going to be able to sit in the office and we're going to be able to run a complete broadcast at a stadium anywhere in the world by just working and understanding what is the strategy that the stadium wants. They will have us do it from remote. Now, we may still have a person there that's running a button or pushing some of the things to pop up on the screens, but a majority of that can be done pretty easily from remote. We're doing it. It can be done. So take that stadium and let's go down to a small business. I love the stadiums. Basically, for me, it was an idea that I had for doing venues, outdoor venues, probably 7 years ago. And we were running the Wi-Fi in New York City on Governor's Island. I mentioned this before in another stadium, but it was really cool because the idea occurred to me that if we can do Wi-Fi, IPTV is going to be the same. And if we can run that remotely, I can make money for the city and for Governor's Island at that point. So the idea, actually, what we've been working on the enterprise level is now coming back to see great opportunities for small businesses. Doesn't matter what the business is. Give us a call. I'll talk to you. I'll say whether it's going to work or how you can monetize it, etc. Call one of our advisors. But it's really an opportunity for you to, start sharing. So some of the smaller businesses that we've seen and how they can use it is no different than the stadium. You only have 1, 2, maybe it's a bar or restaurant and you've got 10 or 15. You still have the same capabilities now that enterprise accounts had years ago. Now the playing field is equal. You just need to know what and how to use IPTV. And it's a lot easier than you think. We all know how to turn a TV on. We all know how to use a remote control. Finding the remote control may be difficult sometimes. It's probably easier to run your TV than find your remote. I know at least it is for me, having an 8-year-old daughter. So finding the ability for you to run this in your business is you need to take advantage of that opportunity. So, from small businesses in retail, you have the same tools and technologies. So there's a number of, trying to think of exactly a couple of businesses that have used the IPTV. I go into doctors' offices and, retail and attorneys' offices, and they have a TV, and when you look at that TV, I'm like, that thing's been there for 15 years. It's 6 inches thick. Why don't they not spend the money on getting a smart TV and turn that into a branding, communication, training type technology? And lastly, I just want to share with you how we use IPTVs in here. And the best thing that I can do, and we've got an office. We basically turned it into a lab. In our office, we have 38 TVs. It's almost a small stadium. And the reason that I use the TVs internally is so that we can, not just with our customers, but it gives us the capability of showing our team how IPTV can work to the staff. So the staff now can get different messages. We can set up, we got a marketing team that can use it for content. They're seeing how to use the back end, how easy it is and how simple it is. I mean, I've even got my engineer can go in and actually program a creative marketing campaign on our TVs internally. Now, how we use the TVs is really so that when a stadium or a customer comes in, we can show them how easy that it works. There's another reason why we have it internally too. And what we've learned is most of the manufacturers or the IPTV providers, you'll go buy the TV and you install it, they install it and they're gone. You go and you buy an IPTV technology, digital signage technology, they set it up and then you're on your own. Where what we did, and we can train you on how to do this. Now, I'm not trying to sell you on Green Zebra or me. I'm just trying to tell you on what you really need to look for when you are buying an IPTV or digital signage solution. And that's just the ease of use, being able to program the back of it, whether you got one TV or 38 TVs like we have in our office, and using it. It hasn't made a big difference, but whether you choose to buy a IPTV digital signage for your business, there's several things that you need to ask the provider. One is, what type of technology is it, right? So for us, we've tested and we've looked at all the IPTV technologies. I personally needed to understand the IPTV technologies. And I went to all the manufacturers and started looking at what are the capabilities for me to think about future advertising capabilities so that I could help business owners really understand how IPTV and digital signage could work. Very important. So what these episodes, or this particular episodes, what I really want you to get out of it is that asking the right questions. There's lots of IPTV software technologies. You can buy any smart TV and then it can be integrated. But you need to really ask them, what kind of content, what kind of software application, how easy is it to use? Ask them for a demonstration and look at several different IPTV technologies or digital signage capabilities. Don't make it hard. Don't be afraid to talk to the engineer. If anything, just get the wow factor of what capabilities are available so that maybe you don't use it today, but you're thinking about it and it becomes part of your messaging plan for your business. My goal is to make sure that you find the right, reliable service, but it's asking the right questions, right? How long have they been in business? Who uses the technology? How is that technology used? How easy is it for me to manage that technology remotely? I mean, there's a million different things, but just your basic things, what's the pricing structure? What's it going to cost, right? Is it a monthly recurring fee? Is it a one-time fee? How flexible are they with their pricing plans? Do they just charge you one time and you're one and done? They sign a 3-year contract and they give you support? Ask them what the support is. So that should do it for, really understanding what questions you should have if you're buying IPTV. So if you currently have IPTV solutions in your small business, consider looking at what's available. Things have changed, and it's just upgrading your TVs. Things are a lot less expensive today. Times have changed. We're moving into other types of technologies. But what I'm asking you to do as a small business owner, entrepreneur, business owner, enterprise account, it doesn't matter. Take advantage of your IPTV system. One, you're going to be able to monetize your IPTV, whether it be your own product or service, or whether you bring an advertiser or sponsor in, or maybe it's your next door that you guys have some sort of partnership. Use and leverage that technology to build your business and build a database. Send them to your website, send them to your landing pages, send them to places where that they can buy. So for dollars that you spend on your TV, the data that you capture and the revenue to monetize it, it's going to make a difference. It will pay for it. So with that being said, I hope this episode was really informative. If you have questions, be sure and check out our website at www.gz6g.com and email me at cole@greenzebra.net if you have a question. Look, I look forward to future episodes and sharing new technologies about dollars and data. And let's make technology fun. Have a great day. We will speak soon. Thank you.